Live from the Scripps Studios, this is 10 News.
Traffic shut down the 5 freeway as flames burned on both sides near Camp Pendleton. Good evening, I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. Flames broke out near the I-5 and just above Basilone Road near the base. Cars were backed up for miles during our evening commute. And we have team coverage from the fire to the dangerous weather conditions.
We begin with 10 News anchor Lindsay Pena. She is live near the scene. Lindsay?
Yeah, that's right, Kim and Steve. The traffic is flowing freely once again, but as you said, it was backed up for miles earlier today. All 4 lanes of the northbound 5 were shut down and 2 lanes of the southbound shut down just after 6 o'clock, just after rush hour, after those 2 fires broke out between the Basilone exit and the Cristianitos exit. Those fires, thankfully, were attended to by firefighters very quickly. They only burned a couple of acres, but as we said, they had to shut down the road as a precaution. Now, we are told that the cause of those fires is possibly attributed to power lines, down power lines today, because we did experience some very heavy winds out here, and we are still, if you can see my hair blowing, experiencing some of those gusty Santa Ana wind conditions. But once again, no injuries reported tonight and no structures damaged. Traffic flowing freely once again on the 5 freeway. We are reporting right on the 5 freeway. Lindsay Pena, 10 News.
Lindsay, thank you. And those Santa Ana winds turned 1 fire into 2 near Camp Pendleton. Will continue to pose fire dangers into the rest of the week. Our meteorologist, Angelica Campos, is tracking those wind speeds right now.
Steve, and if you've noticed all around the county, it is very green.
Oh, yeah.
So that creates a danger, too, because if there's a fire, it's just going to spread very quickly. You start dropping relative humidity, you introduce winds, you dry out the atmosphere, and now we have the perfect combination. And the problem is that it will continue. In fact, our wind advisory for our inland communities and mountains will be in effect until noon on Friday. And actually, right now, we're looking pretty okay around the county. The windiest places, Julian and Mount Laguna, only gusting to 60 miles an hour. We have already seen stronger winds throughout the course of the day today, but relative humidity is now dropping to about 20%, and it will get even drier through the course of the week as Santa Ana winds continue through at least Saturday.
Angelica, thank you. 10 News sent out an alert to our viewers on the mobile app. As soon as we heard about the fire, there is a free version of the mobile app available in the App Store. Just search 10 News.
Police are still looking for 2 men tonight, wanted in connection with a shooting in El Cajon. A 3rd suspect was arrested after leading officers on a pursuit. And our 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo is live from where everything started this afternoon. Laura, you just spoke with the victim's parents.
Kimberly, I spoke to his parents less than an hour ago. They told me they left the hospital and wanted to come here to the scene to see where their son had been shot. They tell me that he is a good kid and had just gotten off of work when this happened. They tell me now he's fighting for his life. Police say it all started in this parking lot off of Mollison and Main in El Cajon. Officers say a man was approached by 3 men, and at one point, one of them shot the victim. The 3 men took off in a white Volkswagen. When police saw the car, only the driver was inside. He led officers on a short pursuit before crashing into another car about 3 miles away on Pepper Drive. 2 adults and 2 children inside, unhurt. Officers say the man took off on foot, unsuccessfully trying to steal an El Cajon police car. Officers arrested the driver, but the 2 other men are still on the run. Now, the parents tell me that their son was shot twice and he is in intensive care on a respirator. El Cajon police haven't released a description for the other 2 suspects. Reporting live in El Cajon, Laura Acevedo, 10 News.
Laura, thank you. A health alert tonight. Over 7,000 cases of the coronavirus have now been confirmed in China. As of tonight, at least 170 people have died in China from that virus. There are 91 confirmed cases outside of China, including 5 in the U.S. As a precaution, the Chinese bilingual preschool of San Diego is now checking all students for a fever before they ever enter the classroom. One student and their family recently returned from a trip to China. Now, the school has confirmed that the family was free of the virus. But local health officials do warn this new strain of coronavirus isn't the only concern.
Not only is influenza around, but respiratory syncytial virus, rhinovirus, adenovirus, and other human strains of coronavirus.
At the school, if a child does have a high temperature, they must turn around and go right back home. Some San Diegans are sending over 1,000 medical supplies to doctors in Wuhan, China, fighting the coronavirus.
The people are suffering, and you're seeing the doctors, they are taking their own risk without wearing any masks.
The San Diegan Wei Ching recently posted a video on Chinese social media asking what he could do to help. Doctors on the front lines told him there is a desperate shortage of protective gear. So Ching and about 20 friends went into action. They ordered masks, coveralls, goggles, and face shields. It was going to take weeks to ship, so they checked the supplies as baggage with a UCSD exchange student on their way back to Beijing. It went out this morning and will be shipped overnight to Wuhan when they arrive in Beijing.
We have new details on the longest drug tunnel ever discovered along the U.S.-Mexico border. It's about a half-mile west of the Otay Mesa port of entry. 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala takes us inside the incredibly well-built passageway.
This tunnel will not be used to smuggle dangerous drugs and other illicit contraband into our communities.
San Diego Border Patrol agents calling this a high-level narco tunnel. They dug into a portion of the ground here to gain access. It was finally exposed in late August after a multi-year investigation. Here's a look inside of the highly sophisticated tunnel that stretches over 3/4 of a mile from Tijuana to San Diego.
It includes an extensive rail cart system, an elevator at the tunnel entrance, and a complex drainage system.
The tunnel begins in an industrial area in Mexico that's just about 1/2 mile west of the Otay Mesa port of entry. Mexican authorities discovered the entrance to the tunnel, and the San Diego Tunnel Task Force began investigating. It travels into the U.S., extending more than 4,000 feet from the border, but did not appear to be in use.
At the time of the discovery, the tunnel did not breach the surface into the United States.
The Tunnel Task Force found hundreds of bags blocking the exit in the U.S., and although no drugs were ever found, they're confident it was used by cartels for drug smuggling. The task force here sending a strong message. They'll continue to do everything they can to stop drugs from coming into the U.S.
We aren't naive enough to think the traffickers won't continue to try and breach our border.
Reporting along the border, Mimi Alcala, 10 News.
The Department of Homeland Security wants to remind everyone they do offer cash rewards for tips leading to the discovery of tunnels just like this. And Border Patrol told us there have been 72 tunnels uncovered along the border since 1993. Over the past 4 years, there have been 16. 2 in 2019, 3 in 2018, 9 in 2017, and 2 in 16.
Pressure is building on Capitol Hill to have former National Security Advisor John Bolton testify in the Senate impeachment trial. The calls for his testimony are fueled by his unpublished book. In it, Bolton reportedly writes that President Trump told him explicitly the hold-up the military aid to Ukraine was directly tied to the investigations of his political rivals. The president's legal team argues even if those allegations were true, it's still not an impeachable offense and claim that the president was acting in the nation's best interest. Moderate Republicans like Mitt Romney are defending Bolton.
I have a great deal of confidence in John Bolton. I've known him for some period of time. He's a brilliant individual.
Senators have up to 16 hours to ask questions over 2 days, setting the stage for a possible witness vote Friday.
Tonight, the lights of the San Diego County Administration building glowed purple and gold to honor Kobe Bryant and 8 others. Investigators say the helicopter that crashed killing Bryant and the 8 others did not have the recommended warning system on board. But it's unclear whether that would have prevented Sunday's deadly crash. Today, Bryant's former team, the LA Lakers, practiced for the first time since the crash.
Just a deeply saddening time for all of us. His influence will be felt forever.
The NTSB is still trying to figure out why the helicopter suddenly banked left before descending and falling for nearly a minute before hitting the hillside. Today, Vanessa Bryant made her first public comment since the death of her husband, Kobe, and daughter, Gianna. She posted this family photo, writing, There aren't enough words to describe our pain right now. She also thanked the millions of fans who have shown support during what she called a horrific time. She also announced a new fund that will help support the other families affected by the crash.
San Diego State secured $350 million to buy the Mission Valley Stadium site. Today, the CSU Board of Trustees approved the university's development plan and allocated that money for the project. This comes after the San Diego City Council filled in some gaps in that deal this past Monday, but the agreement is still just a few weeks away from being finalized. In addition to that new stadium, the deal also includes a satellite campus, 10% affordable housing on site, plus 80 acres of parks and open space.